Hey guys, welcome back to the Scratch Golf Show. Another instance here. Really cool one. Really excited. If you're watching on YouTube, you see a couple new faces who we'll introduce here in a minute. But first, the housekeeping items. If you could like, comment, and subscribe. We're currently on the road to 500 subscribers before the end of the year here on the Scratch Golf Show. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button below. Like the video and leave a comment as to what your favorite part of the interview was with our cool guest. If you're listening on Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. Quick shout out to our sponsors, Core Chiropractic and Performance Center, local family-owned business here in Michigan, CoreCPC.com. Schedule your free consultation with Dr. Billy or Maddie for your Core Chiropractic services, as well as Breakfast Ball Golf Sim, a new golf sponsor of ours, a simulator business here local to the area. All that will be in the description. Check it out. Anyways, let's get into the fun stuff, guys. So, like I said, two new faces here on the Scratch Golf Show. If you follow us on Instagram, which you should, you'll see Joe, who is going to be joining me full-time here as my partner. You'll occasionally see him in some interviews going forward. JB, welcome to the show, man.
Hey, guys. Glad to be here. Stoked. Couldn't be a better evening to make the debut than with our boy Max here. So let's have some fun.
Yeah, enough from you. No one wants to hear from us, man. Let's introduce our guest. We have
Right.
Max Togisala. Max, welcome to the Scratch Golf Show, man. How's it going?
What's going on? Thanks for having me. I'm super pumped for this.
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys didn't watch, we just had MOSI Togisala on, Max's older brother, who's a good member, obviously. Check that video out. We had some really fun conversations about Max, actually what led to this conversation today. So I'm really excited about it. So, dude, first off, I mean, it's been a wild ride for you the past month or so, Max. I know you were on the reality TV show with your brother, threw out the first pitch at the Astros game with your brother. Now, all over Utah, the PGA Tour, Instagram. What's life been like for you the past month or so, dude?
Oh man, it's been crazy. But it's been a ton of fun traveling around. That thing we did in Houston was a ton of fun. And I'm glad I was there with Melosi to do some stuff with him, that was just super fun. And then PGA, they came to Utah, so they had me and my brother out there, and we were doing some interviews with some players, and they did a little story of me, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, dude. I know. I saw that on Instagram. That was really, really cool. I mean, they honestly stole a lot of my content, unfortunately, because I know we've had this planned for a while now. But that was a really, really cool piece. JB, did you get a chance to check that out at all?
That one I did not. Yeah, that one slipped my page. The last thing I watched was actually the Golf Channel snippet on you. Which, correct me if I'm wrong, Max, but this was news to me. Maybe it was news to Marco too. But are you also skiing again too, or have been skiing again too, or hit the slopes again? That blew my mind.
Oh yeah, I didn't let it stop me, so I skied. I started skiing just right after my accident, basically, just a couple months after.
Damn,
Awesome.
for real?
Yeah.
2 months after?
Just it was like
I would,
eight, so
okay,
within a
yeah,
year.
couple's a loose term. No, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying. Well, yeah, dude, that's awesome. Obviously, we want to talk about everything. We're gonna get into a ton of different stuff. We're gonna get into Utah, you meeting Wesley Bryan, your relationship with your brother. We
Mhm.
got a ton of cool questions for you. So to start, dude, just tell us your story, man. Tell us a little bit about before the accident, like where you're from, how old you are, where you grew up, how you got into golf, and then we'll get
Mhm.
into some more stuff from there. But just tell us a little about you growing up and how you got into golf.
Yeah. Well, my name is Max Togisala. I'm 20 years old now. I grew up here in South Ogden, Utah, born and raised. And growing up, I was kind of just super outgoing, athletic, played a lot of sports growing up, but golf was kind of my passion. I
Yeah.
I kind of did that by following my brother and my dad. Obviously, they got me into the game of golf. And also growing up skiing. But my life kind of switched when I was 18 years old, when I was in a ski accident during my senior year in high school. So basically, I was in a ski accident that left me paralyzed from the waist down. And I'm currently still in a wheelchair to this day, but I have been able to overcome a lot of things. Now I still golf, I still ski. I compete adaptive tournaments. I've competed in the USGA Adaptive Open. which is a ton of fun. And I've
Yeah.
won back to
Hell yeah.
back.
Hell
I've
yeah.
won back to back these past 2 years. So yeah.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, first off, like that's kind of where we wanted to start, right? I mean,
Hmm.
dude, you had a kind of a wild accident. I mean, your life, like you said, kind of flipped upside down. So I guess just like talk me through, I guess, what happened. Like, was it a freak accident? Like, were you running in? Like, I guess just what happened to
It
that led to that?
it was literally just a freak accident. Me and my friends, we planned this trip to go to like do a little ski trip for President's Day weekend. And it was our first run actually, and first day of the trip.
Jeez.
So kind of unfortunate, but I've been skiing my whole life and I knew like my limits and stuff. And I didn't think the run that we were going down was going to be hard at all. And to this day, I still don't think it's a hard run. I
Yeah.
just kind of got like kind of unlucky. I went over a little ledge that well, it was blind, so I couldn't really see what was below it, and there was a ton of moguls, big bumps, and ice. And I tried stopping when I shouldn't have tried stopping, and then I landed weird on my back, and I was instantly paralyzed. So I didn't have any feeling or any pain in my legs. Like I had no movement, nothing. Ski patrol came over. My friend luckily saw me go down, so he was able to get someone over there. Because I don't think if he saw me, then I would have been down there a lot longer than what I wanted to be. But so they came over to me and they're like, "Okay, like, can you get up and stuff?" And I just kept on repeating to them, "I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs." And they took off my ski boots and they're like, "Can you wiggle your toes?" And I was like, "No, I can't do that." And they were like poking me and telling me to move. I was like, I can't feel or move anything right now. So that's kind of when the shock kind of hit me. And they got me down the mountain and they did the X-rays at a clinic, and they told me that I had shattered my back and I needed surgery right away. And that's where they were figuring out where they're gonna have me go. And they flew me to the University of Utah to do the surgery there, and it was about a 3 hour procedure, surgery that was pretty intense. Of them putting basically what the closest way back to it being normal,
Yeah.
and they had a bunch of screws and rods. Still uncertain if I was going to be able to walk again. Couple days after, they told me like, you have about 2 years to improve, and if you haven't improved in those 2 years, then it's pretty much going to be like this for the rest of your life. And those 2 years are now up. So,
Mm.
hmm
JB, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that thing. Yeah, first of all, thank you for sharing all that. That's
yeah,
beautiful story, and the progress you've made is unbelievable. I guess looking back, at the past couple of years, the timeline doesn't seem very long between that accident and you playing in the first Adaptive Open. Like it seems very short. So can
hmm
you share a little bit and walk us through? I guess that was there like a aha moment or the motivation and thought process you had to like tell yourself, okay, I can still do this. I can compete and now
hmm
play in this event and perform as well as you did. I guess can you share a little bit on that?
yeah. I kind of found that like that motivation again while I was in the hospital. My brother brought me my clubs to me,
Yeah.
and we found a little patch of grass because it was still winter at the time, so there was still snow everywhere. But we found a little patch of grass, and I was chipping with just one hand in my wheelchair, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna golf again. And I didn't think I would compete. I just thought I was just gonna play golf at least again, and so I was happy about that.
Yeah.
And then about like 6 months after, I found out that there was a U.S. Adaptive Open, and I noticed that there were people in wheelchairs with these devices that stand them up, and they're able to play golf again. And I found a guy in Utah, and he had one. He let me use it for the first time, and I absolutely loved it. And then,
That's
uh,
awesome, dude.
yeah, about a year after that, I got my own. So after my accident, a year after, I got my own, and then that's where I was like, okay, I'm gonna compete. And so a year and like 6 months or so, I was competing in the first U.S. Adaptive Open for me.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's an unreal. And dude, what people don't know, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, because this is just my podcast research. You
Yeah.
obviously know, but you were a very, very good golfer before you had your accident. You were looking at going to college, and I believe from what your brother told me that you had recently signed like a letter of intent or your like a commitment to go play golf somewhere. Like recently, before or after, you know what I'm saying. Like right before the
Yeah.
accident. Like, is that true? And I guess first of all, is that true? Like, is that something that you
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
experienced?
I I worked on I worked on that like basically ever since MOSI. When I saw that he went and played college golf, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that, and that's all I kind of worked on while I was in high school. And then I signed that fall before my accident to go play college golf in central Wyoming.
Yeah.
It's just called a little town in Riverton. I was planning on playing there basically, and then unfortunately it was in the ski accident.
Yeah, I mean, Joe played college golf. I did not, so I'm sure he can speak a little bit better on kind of that process than me. But like, dude, how did you mentally get through the fact that that kind of dream was over? Like, how did you like, dude? You were at such a young like. First of all, I love your mindset. Like, you have such a cool mindset. Like, you're so like the fact that you're 20 and you are still like this mature and like this responsible and this just kind of outlook on life is so different, like is blowing me away for how young you are and how just impressive. But like, you could have blamed the world, man. Like, your life just kind of went up like that. Like, I couldn't imagine kind of going through that. It's like, how did you mentally bounce back from that, like, at such a young age?
Um, well, it was definitely hard at first, like to have something that you worked on your your basically your whole life, and then for it to be gone in one moment. It sucked. It was awful. I went through a rough time when I wasn't like golfing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a heartbreaking. But when I found that there was a U.S. Adaptive Open, I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I can still compete in tournaments. I can still do that, and that's what I loved. I loved to compete with other people, and so I was very happy that there was that.
Yeah.
Um, and then like I was just kind of just glad to be alive after
Right.
going through
Yeah. No, for sure.
something crazy like that. So I was just blessed to be alive, really.
No, I mean, like I said, dude, it really puts into perspective like a lot of the stuff that maybe us everyday folks take for granted who can do stuff like that. And, it just makes seem like bad days on the like our bad days on the golf course are not so bad compared to other people, man. So like we both applaud you. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of yours. As soon as your brother told me your story, I immediately, I think as soon as we jumped off the interview, I followed you on Instagram. I shot you a message and we got this set up. Like, you are such an inspiration that like, dude, you can show people that like just because you had a really big obstacle, you can still do something you love, and that's awesome. What was the hardest part, do you think, about like just learning how to golf in a seated position?
Um,
Like, did you
I
find it hard to like learn your swing again?
Yes and no. Like I was a scratch handicap before my accident.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew like my swing really well before, and now doing it in a seated position, it's basically the same. I'm just not rotating with my lower half. It's just
Yeah.
all arms.
Yeah.
So I'm able to connect with the ball very good still.
Yeah.
But it took a while to get my handicap down below 10.
Yeah.
Just because, yeah, it's tough. Like I started out like a 15 handicap basically, at the beginning, and
Yeah.
then now I currently have it at like 8 right now. So
Hell yeah, dude. That's
Nice.
first
yeah,
of all, that's impressive, and like it's just, dude, it's wild to me. Like, I can't like I Joe plays to like a +2-ish. I'm a +1, so like we get it, and
hmm
like I just like that's so wild. Like, I couldn't imagine like just kind of going back to like resetting, just like being
yeah,
like a 15 handicap again. Like, props to you, man. Like, that is so
yeah.
impressive. Like, that is awesome what you're doing. JB, you have a follow up?
Well, I mean, building off that, Max, just like watching your videos, like you can still freaking move that club, man. Like you're a strong
Thank
dude.
you.
Do
Yeah,
you have any idea what like your you got your driver head swing speed at right now at ballpark? Any idea?
I haven't done it in a while. Like I mean, probably a year. but my fastest with the driver club speed was only like 95. But that's just all arms, just
Yeah.
forearms, basically.
Still pretty quick, probably faster than
Yeah.
people we know. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Faster than Joe some days, that's for sure.
yeah, that's right.
Do you so how often do you play? Do you still play like every day?
Yeah,
It's
I
not
don't play every day, but I'll try to play like 18 holes at least once a week, and then
okay.
I like to go practice most of the time.
Hell yeah. Do you work at a course or like
I actually work at a junior high.
oh, okay.
I help teenagers that are struggling in class and
Oh, sweet,
behavioral
dude.
issus. So I do
That's
that.
awesome. Dude, you're an
Nice.
Yeah.
inspiration, man. You're that is so cool. Um cool, man. Well, let's talk a little bit about like the adaptive opens. Like how how cool was that? Like I guess let's just start like how did you find out about the adaptive opens?
hmm
And then we'll go from there.
Yeah, or even just for any viewers that might not be familiar with what the Adaptive Open is, because it
Yeah,
is
I guess.
it's pretty
Yeah.
new,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, maybe touch on I guess what it is and your first experience with it would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Adaptive Open, it's really new. So they've only done three of them. So, but it's basically a U.S. Open for disability golfers. So if you have a disability, you qualify for this tournament. There's people with like no arms, no legs, seated position, blind golfers, which is crazy.
That's
Um,
wild.
yeah. And so my first year, I just remember going and I was like, these people are crazy, and it's
Yeah.
crazy to see what they've done to adapt to to fit their game. I like those people with no arms. They extend their clubs so they can fit it under their armpit and then
Yeah.
swing.
Wow.
And then the blind golfers, they have their caddy line them up and say, "Okay, swing." So
Yeah.
they're
Oh
just
my
relying
gosh.
all on their caddy. It's
That
crazy.
is
And then
wild.
seeing other seated players there was pretty cool because I go to a golf course and I don't see another adaptive golfer ever.
Yeah.
And so it's cool to see just on this one golf course, just all people with disabilities playing in the tournament and playing really good too. So it's pretty crazy.
So it's and I don't know what's more impressive, somebody with no arms golfing or somebody who's blind. Like I really like that is so crazy. Like like swing, I couldn't imagine swinging blind. Like that's got to be. I've actually seen a couple guys like videos of it. It's ridiculously impressive. So you
Yeah.
played the first one was at Pinehurst, no, right? Like that's got to be cool.
Yeah. Pinehurst, number 6 was the course. They chose that one because it's the most adaptive one, but
Yeah.
it was very pure and
So like
pretty crazy.
how like what was it 3 round? Like what was the format? Is it stroke play? Like just talk through
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
about that.
It was a 3-day tournament, stroke play, um, and you play for an overall, but you also play for your category. So I'm playing
Okay.
against just the wheelchair golfers, but I'm also playing for the overall too.
Okay.
So everyone's like that.
Okay.
But there's also
So
like team markers. Like it's kind of like not a handicap based, but like all the seated players will play from the very front tees,
yeah.
which they try to play around 48 to 5,000 yards. And then for like one leg, they play from like the blue tees. And so it's
Okay.
basically just whatever handicap you have is they have like specific distances that you guys will play.
Okay.
And you had an under par round, no? I think you shot
I
it.
did.
Hell yeah, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So
Yeah.
you answer my question about the yardage marker and stuff.
Yeah.
My question is, what part of your game did you find was the easiest to pick back up after the accident, and which part of
hmm
your game did you find was the hardest? Like short game, driving.
Um, Short game was definitely the easiest. Just because I've always had like pretty good hands around the green.
Yeah,
And so that was super like pretty easy to learn. But the driver was kind of the hardest thing. Um, I since I can't really rotate, I can't really hit up on the ball, so I'm hitting down on the ball a lot.
yeah.
And so to solve that is I just don't tee the ball up. Yeah,
Nice.
I just
Nice.
hit driver off the deck
Oh
sometimes, but
yeah.
I'll tee the ball up once in a while if I can miss it both left and right,
Nice.
because I don't know where it's going sometimes when I tee it up.
Hell yeah. Go ahead,
So
JB.
yeah,
Well, I want to hear more about this. The your low round at Pinehurst. 'Cause correct me if I'm wrong, but was
Mhm.
that that's the lowest round like competition recorded by a seated golfer, right? Did I hear that
yeah,
right?
Yep.
Sweet.
I beat the record by 9 shots.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
thank you.
So you got a scorecard in Pinehurst, no? Right? Isn't that? I think that's what your brother told me.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
It was
dude.
crazy.
So how? What was? Walk us through the round a little bit. Like, were you nervous? Like, kind of playing that round? Did you realize how well you were playing? What was that round like?
Um, I it was the second day, and I think I didn't have as many nerves because I went and shot an 80, 82, I think, the first day. So I'm
been
like,
there, been there,
all right,
brother.
whatever, dude. I'm just gonna go out and just have
Yeah.
fun. And so that's basically what I did. I shot the first 9. I shot one over par, and then going into the back 9, I started out with a birdie, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm even right now. I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
And then I had 2 other birdies to shoot 2 under par. I birdied the last hole,
Oh
like a 10
wow.
footer.
Nice.
And I remember the putt, if I missed it, it was going to go 10 feet past. And I'm like, okay, I'm just glad I win.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I was like, I kind of knew like I was going to be possibly shooting the lowest round
Yeah.
after I made that putt.
That's sweet. Do you
Ah,
like?
hmm
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations. So
Thank you.
would you say you're the best seated golfer in the world? Is that like a
Um,
understatement or an overstatement?
not in the world. I'm the best in the United States currently right now.
Okay. Hell yeah.
So
Hell
I
yeah, dude.
yeah, I have to play in international tournaments to go to be with everyone else, but
Nice.
I've done some research on some of like the people and the scores, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what courses they're playing, but they're
Yeah.
not shooting very well.
Yeah, dude. Well, obviously we're competitors.
hmm
Me and Joe, we both like to play. I issued a challenge to your brother to do a 1v1 match. So
Love it.
if you guys ever come to Michigan or me and Joe ever have out to Utah, we'd love to face y'all in a 2v2 match. Um, Scramble or whatever you guys want to do because I know you
Love
filmed
it.
some videos with your brother. So that we'll issue the challenge. If you guys ever want to do it, we'd love to face you guys because we do a little bit of the playing stuff, and I know you
hmm
do as well. So we'll link Max's YouTube channel in the description, guys. Make sure you hit him a subscribe, as well as subscribe to us too. But I know you're kind of doing the content stuff, which we love to
Oh yeah.
see. So make sure you guys hit the subscribe button below. So are you doing that just like on the side? Like I know Melosi obviously is doing it full time now, but are you hoping to go full time in the content? Like, what does your plan look like with that?
Yeah, I'm hoping to do it full time. I'm working mostly on YouTube stuff right now.
Yeah,
Just because I think that's gonna pay the most.
yeah,
So it's a grind, but I'm doing a couple videos with Melosi, so I'm helping him out with growing his page and stuff.
nice, hell yeah, dude.
Hope
Are
to keep
you
growing.
are you gonna not to break any news here, but are you gonna be a good adaptive athlete? You be the first good adaptive athlete, maybe.
Oh, I wish that would be pretty cool.
Hey, well, if they're watching, you never know.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, speaking of Melosi, like, talk to
hmm
us a little bit about your relationship with him and what's that like, and filming with him and golfing with him, and just anything and everything about what your relationship's like with your brother.
Yeah, me and Melosi, we growing up, we kind of weren't too close because there's a 7-year age gap, so he's a little bit older than me. But growing up, I was kind of just that annoying little brother that wanted to hang out with my
Yeah,
older brother and all his friends. But after my accident, we got a lot closer because we both grew up playing golf, and I got a lot better. So
yeah,
matches got more competitive and stuff. And so before my accident, we had a pretty big rivalry of golf matches and stuff like that. And then yeah, we connect through golf, I think, the most. And then he's now like with goodgood and on top of the world right now, so it's pretty cool. But we still get out and play, and it's always a fun time.
How supportive, and not I don't want to say supportive, but like, what was he like? And I should say how. I guess supportive is the right word. Like, how supportive in a role was he as a brother going through the accident, like with you being in the hospital, like what was he like during those days, like the dark days?
Yeah. Well, like I said before, he brought me my clubs. Like if
Yeah,
he didn't bring me my clubs, I don't know like how motivated I would have been to to get out and play, because I remember when he brought me those clubs, I used them like every day. Like I was
Yeah.
chipping out in that yard, and so I'm glad that he was able to be there and to push me past my limits, because he knows just the potential that I have, and he's super supportive, and so I love him for that, and I really appreciate that he was able to bring me my clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. He spoke very highly of you when I had him on in the interview, and it was very cool to see. I mean, he's obviously a very. You guys are both very nice people. I mean, I've only had brief interactions with you guys, but you guys are both very nice, and it seems like y'all have a really special relationship. And that PGA Tour post was really cool. And like I said, if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you do. Melosi spoke very highly of Max, and it was very cool to see. Joey, do you have anything? I got a couple more, and then we'll get into the Utah Black Desert, and then we'll do some rapid fires, and then
I
get
was
you
gonna
out
say
here.
let's move right into the Black Desert, 'cause that's where most of mine.
Before we do that, I know I talked to you a little bit offline, Max. I sent Melosi a message this morning asking him some questions. So he told me specifically, um, he goes, ask him who he thinks is the better golfer between us two. Who has a better mental game versus swing mechanics? And like I said, who is just a better golfer in general?
Okay. I'll start out with the swing. Who has a better swing? I think Melosi has a better swing. I think it's more on path, and he can work the ball more both ways. Um, Consistent wise, I would say I'm more consistent than him.
Okay.
Um, if we're going off of matches and stuff like that, I think I got him. I think I got him on matches. I played him like 2 weeks ago for when he did his Utah tour, and
Yeah.
spoiler, I hope he's already posted him, but I beat him in the in our match.
Let's
So
go.
yeah, yeah. So
And
that was
then
fun.
mentally, I feel like I'm going to give that one to you. No offense to Melosi.
Hmm.
Mo, if you see
Yeah,
this, you're my boy. But I mean, mentally, dude, you got through golfing, without using your legs. Like I feel like
yeah,
mentally, you kind of got that edge. No offense to
yeah,
Melosi there. So you
yeah.
guys are. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I would say I definitely have it mentally. I he's a rage monster sometimes. But I mean, so am I though. But
I feel that.
I think I can bounce back a little bit better.
Are you all pretty competitive when you get out there? Do you guys do like any side action or anything?
um, we don't no, we don't really normally bet, but I'll pull up the rule book on him if I have to.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
I know.
Marco, you know
Yeah.
what that is? You know what a rule book is?
No, not familiar with the rule book. Hey, I play by my own rules, bro. Cool, man. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Black Desert Open. Obviously, the PGA Tour was just in Utah, first time in I
Hmm.
think 60 something years. You
Yeah.
guys were on site. You had a bunch of cool content. Matt Wesley, Bryan, a former
Yeah.
guest of the podcast. But Joe, you want to ask the first question about this one, and then I'll just build off
Yeah,
of
I
you,
mean,
buddy.
how about just the venue in general? Were you very familiar with it? Played that course much before?
I played it last March, and they didn't have like the resort up or like the clubhouse, so it was pretty cool to see the resort and like kind of the all the new stuff that they have. It was really cool.
Cool, cool.
Did you go ahead?
No, go ahead.
I was saying, did you? I mean, how cool was like the? I mean, it just looks very aesthetically pleasing from the drone shots. I mean, like, how
Yeah.
cool is the course?
Oh, it's so cool, and I love the backdrop of the red rock in the background. It's so sick,
Yeah.
and yeah, the course was so pure.
How close is it to like where y'all live? Was it like a hop, skip, and jump, or was it?
It's pretty close from where Melosi lived. It was only like 15 minutes away.
Okay,
Hmm.
cool. So were you guys on site all week, or how often did you actually end up going to the event?
I was there for um, only 3 days. Melosi was there for the full event. I stayed till Thursday, so I watched the first day. But we were there 2 days before, just on the range and on the course with some of the players.
Was it difficult to get around? Like, not just for you, but just from a spectator wise. How was it
Um,
for?
yeah. It seemed like it was pretty confusing a little bit, but
Yeah,
I think they had a lot of volunteers that knew what they were doing, so that was super
yeah.
helpful.
I
And
mean, obviously,
yeah,
New tournament, I mean, new site, first time
Yeah,
in 60 years. We can understand that, right? It is what it
yeah,
is. We haven't, dude, and like, I get it. Like, obviously it's a fall tournament, the PGA Tour, and it's not the strongest field. Like, no one's debating that, but like, I get it, and because we have the Rocket Mortgage Classic here in Detroit. I mean, that's one of the worst PGA Tour events of the year on the regular schedule. Like, it's just cool. It means a lot to the community here. Like, me and Joe are both very big on Michigan, Detroit. Like, so seeing
yeah,
the event there it's super cool, and it's super cool for community. Like, people enjoy it regardless of people watching or not.
yeah,
It's still very big for the area and
yeah.
the community. Well, I mean, talk me through the PGA Tour post, man. Like, what was the background of that like? Like, how did that get set up? And like, how were you like filming all that? Like, how just talk me through that experience.
Yeah, I found out 2 days before because my brother is really bad at communication. He's super last minute. He's like, "Okay, Max, you're coming." I'm like, "Okay." So I called in work. I was like, "Yeah, I'm leaving. Sorry, PGA Tour wants me." So so I was like, I can't say no to them. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were there filming. It started out just kind of us on the range, and then hitting balls with Wesley, which was really cool because he was next to me. And then um, they did just kind of small clips of me hitting some shots, and then I chipped in front of Wesley, so that was pretty. That was
Nice.
really
Hell yeah,
cool.
dude. Let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. That was my first time meeting Wesley, and it was a ton of fun. I've watched him and his brother on their YouTube
Yeah.
channel. Growing up, they're really awesome. And so yeah, they did that little piece for me and my brother, and so
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
How cool was Wesley?
So he's so sick.
Dude, I
I
know, man.
he's like he's such a chill golfer. Like he doesn't even seem like a PGA player. Like I
No.
hope that's not rude. Like
No, it's not.
he seems just like a chill dude, and
Yeah.
like even after his practice round, he wanted to like break the world record for the longest putt.
Yeah.
And I was out there with him, and we were hitting putts, and I was just hanging out with him basically, which was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he's a super fun guy.
No, dude, I get it. So I had him on. I started doing the show in April of
Hmm.
this year, so still relatively new, obviously.
Yeah,
And the Rocket Mortgage was here in June, and so I got a hold of him on Twitter and was like, "Hey, I'm a fan of theirs too. I watch a ton of YouTube golf, right? Obviously, I'm big a Brian Bros fan." So he responded
yeah,
to me. He's like, "Yeah, I'll come on." It's like really cool, and so I met up with him at the event. He took me out to the players' lot, interviewed me, gave me 15 minutes of his time. The nicest guy, like just
yeah,
so cool, so nice, so chill. And he even said that he said when I talked to him, he's like, if this is my last time in the PGA Tour, like it is what it is. Like I don't care. Like
yeah.
I'm much more enjoying the YouTube side of stuff. And I feel like I mean, you get it. Like you do YouTube. Like, dude, YouTube
Hmm.
golf is so much better. Like it's less stuffy. Like you don't like
Yeah,
you can do whatever you want. I love the growth of YouTube golf and where that's at. But yeah, dude, Wesley's awesome. So that's cool. That's
yeah,
that's obviously a really cool experience for you, man. And that's cool. Like just you got to experience the PGA Tour in your hometown. Like I said, I can respect that and I get it from that perspective. Um, Davey, do you have anything else before we move into the rapid fires?
Super cool.
From
Not really. I mean, super cool that was able to line up the way it did, as Marco was talking about. Anytime the PGA Tour can shed a little bit of light on golf community wherever it's going is really
yeah,
cool. I speak for myself, but probably a lot of people when they're not too familiar with Utah golf at all. Um,
yeah,
and now just be able to
yeah,
see it in that way and see you guys out there, I think is super cool. And just seeing how that lines up with the world of YouTube golf as it is, and having you guys out there. So super cool. I
yeah.
guess moving on from that, what did you want to go into rapid fire, Marco, or
no, go ahead.
what were we
I just
thinking?
want to make sure you didn't have anything else before we. I'm in no
Um,
rush.
well, so now that the tournament's behind us and everything, I guess what's the next couple of weeks looking like for you? Are you practicing much, grinding much, focusing on work? What's in the spotlight right now?
I'm actually next Wednesday, so I'm gonna be taking my PAT. So I'm gonna
Sweet,
try to get in
Oh
the
hell
program.
yeah!
heck
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
Damn, so you're gonna start teaching?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude!
sweet
Congratulations,
man.
that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Our buddy,
Yeah.
Joe. Oh, he's our buddy. Joe, more Joe's friend than mine, but our friend just did that. Good luck, dude. Where are you doing that? Are you
Thank
doing
you.
it? I'm assuming locally.
Yeah, here in Utah, Salt Lake area. So
Oh,
So
sweet, brother.
what are the parameters? Like, what do you like? Obviously, there are certain scores you have to shoot, right?
yeah, so the scores stay the same. They're just gonna allow me to play from the front tees. So
Okay.
they have that set for disability golfers.
Oh yeah.
So I have to shoot like plus 15 for 36 holes.
Nice, dude. Well,
Okay.
first of all, good
Yeah,
luck. That's awesome
thank
that
you.
you're doing that and chasing the passion, man. And it's one, like I said, I cannot get over. And we've had the J&A guys on, John from J&A,
Yeah.
not Ashton yet, Ashton, but like all you guys are so young and like your guys' mindset and just like the amount of success you guys are having at such a young age. I know I wasn't doing what you were doing and thinking like you were at 20. So you're teaching. So are you pretty like technical with the golf swing? Like, do you teach yourself? Like are you pretty familiar and good at teaching?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm more of like I feel like I'm better with like a more amateur golfer than a
Yeah.
beginner type golfer. But
Yeah.
I definitely want to learn more about it and stuff because I think it's just a lot of fun. I like that a
For
lot.
sure, man. You'd be good at it too. I could tell just the way you talk and how you analyze
Yeah.
things. Like you'd be a good
Yeah,
swing instructor for sure.
I appreciate that.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, let's get into the rapid fires, dude, and then we'll get you out of here because I know we've already kept you for far too long. Thank you for jumping on, Max. This has been
Of
awesome.
course.
So we'll start here. Favorite golf course.
Favorite golf course. Um, oh man, I think I gotta go Pinehurst.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did you get to play number two?
we didn't get to play number
No.
two, but I did the little short course, the par three
Oh,
little thing.
Cradle.
So
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
that was a ton of fun.
Nicest golf course
Yeah,
was Pinehurst.
nicest. Ooh, nicest. I'm gonna go Torrey Pines for it being a
Damn,
public
dude.
golf course and how like nice it is. Like how like it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Go
Hmm.
ahead, JB. Fire.
Uh, rapid fire. You have the questions in front of you. I mean, we could keep
Yeah.
going.
Favorite golfer.
Favorite golfer. Um, lately it's been Bryson DeChambeau.
Fair
Super
enough.
entertaining,
Hell yeah, dude.
inspirational. So I like him a lot.
Yeah, speaking of Pinehurst, ironically enough, you and him both won at Pinehurst.
Yeah,
Dude, his caddy, so I do, we do PGA Tour, well, I do PGA Tour caddies too. His caddy just followed me.
oh,
Hopefully
that's
get
sick.
Jibo on at the end of the year. Yeah, we exchanged some DMs, so hopefully, and then, Bryson, my goal is to get Bryson on sometime next year, shoot
That
for the
would be so
stars. But
sick.
hell yeah, dude, we'll make sure we'd love to get him on sometime. Favorite creator?
Favorite creator. It's got to be Garrett Clark. I, I mean Utah. I mean YouTube golf. Like that's all I know was from Garrett Clark, and
Yeah.
I watched him to like back when he was doing it at the beginning. So I love that a lot.
Have you gotten to meet him?
I have it now.
No? So I'm having Ryder on next week as editor, or as
That's
camera
sick.
guy. Yeah, that'll be a fun one. And then,
Yeah.
Obviously, Garrett is another one that I'd love to get on.
Mhm.
So Garrett, if you see this, big fans.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, coolest golf moment on camera.
Ooh, on camera. Um. Oh man, I don't think I've chipped in on camera before. I've chipped in on like my channel before, but I guess I have chipped in PGA Tour.
Here you go. Yeah,
I
there you
think
go.
it's got to be that one, the PGA
Cool.
Tour.
Coolest golf moment off camera.
Ooh. My gosh, this is tough because there's so many.
I know.
I think, man, I think the first tee shot I hit at Pinehurst during the first U.S. Adaptive Open.
Cool. Favorite video you've ever made and why?
Skiing video, my very first skiing video.
Okay.
And it was not my very first skiing, my year mark. It was a skiing video of me skiing the same run on the same
Hell yeah,
day,
dude.
a
Let's
year
go.
after my accident. Yeah,
Good for you, man. Good for you.
thank you.
One mulligan on camera and where? Where would you use it?
Oh my gosh, what hole is that? Pebble Beach, the famous par three.
Number
hole 7?
Yeah.
7, right there.
You play Pebble? Damn,
I have
bro.
it now.
Oh.
Oh, like of course I have played.
Yeah, so like if any video you've made, it could be any video you've made in the past,
Mm,
or any like you
okay.
get to use one mulligan from any video you've made and why.
Okay. Um. Ooh. I think the Black Desert video I did with Melosi back in March.
Okay, cool,
The 18th tee box.
nice, nice, hell yeah.
Mm.
Um, biggest creator role model. I have a feeling I know the answer to this one, but I'll ask it.
I'm gonna go with my brother.
Yeah, I figured that
Yeah.
one. Uh,
Yeah.
this one, I asked this one two ways. So best round, so we can go best round before the accident, and then your
Okay.
best round after the accident, which obviously I think is your Pinehurst round, but best round before the accident.
So best round before 63 at
Damn,
in a high school tournament. Yeah. And then lowest round sitting down is a 67.
damn, dude, you
Yeah.
got
Whoa.
game, bro. That is so, dude. That is so, dude. First of all, my best round is 67 as standing. Like, so the
Yeah.
fact that you're able to do it, you're able to shoot 63 standing and then shoot
Yeah.
67 in a seated position. That is so
Yeah.
ridiculously impressive, dude. That is awesome. Do you have a
Oh, thank you.
favorite podcast? Do you listen to a ton of podcasts?
Um oh man, I don't listen to I think the best one I listen to a lot is the Bob Does Sports.
Yeah, dude, I love Bob Does
They're
Sports.
so
I want to
funny.
get, dude, I want to get those guys on. Speaking of, dude, we just had James Lynch on. I just recorded. Do you know James
Oh
Lynch?
really? Yeah,
Dude, I just recorded with him last night. He is hilarious. That's a really good. So we're gonna drop James the week after we drop this one. So just a little
Awesome.
teaser for you guys. James is awesome. Cool. Well, JB, you got anything else? Otherwise, that was it on my end. Any other
Um,
questions?
I mean, if we could just, yeah, I mean, again, Max, super inspirational what you've done.
Mhm.
Um, I guess anything you're willing to share, any words of advice or words of encouragement of somebody who might be in a similar situation. Maybe they have golfed and found themselves disabled, or they want to pick up the sport, or any words of encouragement or advice you could share.
Um I would say just do it and don't let the stares of people at the golf course like affect you too much. That was a thing that hit me at the beginning was just a bunch of people staring at me while I'm at the
Mm.
golf course. It kind of like was
Yeah.
intimidating. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore now. But I think we got to do it because we got to let people know that there's adaptive golf and that we can actually compete. And I just not give up.
Hell yeah, dude. Well,
Love
Max, really appreciate the words, man. This is an awesome story. This is one I was really excited to do. Thank you so much for joining the Scratch Golf Show.
Of
If you
course.
guys made it to the end of the podcast, make sure, like I said, subscribe to Max's channel. What is your YouTube channel so people can search it
It
to make
is
sure they
just my
subscribe?
name, Max Togisala.
Max Togisala. All right. Well, like I said, we'll link all that in the description. Make sure you follow. Make sure you subscribe. That's another instance of the that's another episode of the Scratch Golf Show, guys. Thanks. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it.